Hey everyone, this is Shuwen from Christmas Past. It is currently February 2nd, 2022, and I have just finished uploading all of my YouTube videos for December Daily 2021, and I am completely done that album and looking forward to putting away all of this stuff here. But before I put this all away, I decided that I might as well film this video here to share what items were my favorites from the 2021 December Daily collection and what items I'm keeping to use next year and what items I really didn't use this year and am not interested in using for next year. And I'm hoping that by doing this video now, it's kind of fresh in my mind what products I was really gearing towards and what products I was kind of staying away from. And I'm hoping that this will help me make some decisions for December Daily 2022 about what types of items I might be looking forward to purchasing if they are offered again next year, and what items I'm probably going to stay away from. And just to note as well that as part of the December Daily creative team for 2021, I did receive most of these items, like one of each of these items at no cost for being on the creative team. So I didn't purchase all of these items, but I think it was a great opportunity for me to have all of these items and kind of try some of them out and find out which ones I really like for my December documenting and the reasons why, and some of the items that I am not necessarily interested in including in my December Daily albums. So I was just going to go through this catalog one at a time and figure out what types of things I liked the most and what types of things I found that I didn't really enjoy using as much. And I do have a Sharpie here that I will be using to kind of heart some of the items and X out some of the items that I didn't enjoy as much. That being said, of course, this is all to do with my crafty style, and of course you might have completely different styles and have different preferences for products. So just to let you know that all these opinions are my own and they don't reflect the quality of the products too. So all of these products are, I think, very high in quality. It's just some are not things that I personally like to use. So for the main kit, let's see what I have left. So I think I'm going to go in terms of like product categories instead of going by item. So let's start with embellishments. So I've kind of grouped my embellishments into different clusters depending on the textures and the materials of the embellishments. And that's just because I like to have a variety of different textures in my December Daily albums if possible. So that's something I definitely look for when I'm choosing my products. In terms of the felt embellishments, there were 3 types of felt things that came in this year's December Daily collection. And the first was these large felt numbers, and I really didn't use any of these felt numbers. I think I took them out to kind of play around with at one point in time, but I didn't use any of them. And that's just because I used the wood veneer numbers as my consistent numbers for my December Daily, and I really like the way that my albums have a consistent number throughout the whole album because it just keeps the aesthetic kind of consistent. So I think in the future I will definitely only be getting one like bold number set, and then the rest of the numbers I will not have. Obviously that doesn't include like number stickers because there was a set of gold numbers that I used quite a lot of, but that's kind of different than like a bold main number that I would use, for example. So this is going in my destash pile. In terms of other felt embellishments, I really enjoyed using the small ones. So there was this pack of felt trees, and then there were a bunch of white felt trees as well that I used all of those, and then I used 2 of the green ones, I think. And then there was also a package of red felt stars, and I used all of those as well. So I think I will, destash these for this year. Actually, no, I think I'll keep them just in case there are no felt embellishments for next year. But I definitely think that the smaller felt embellishments are some of my favorites to use. In terms of pleather, I do enjoy using pleather as well. I especially like the fact that these come as a sticker, so you don't have to add adhesive to them to make them sticky for your projects. I used, the thing I like about these the most is that you can use them, anything that has like a lot of the same shape or the same style of product. I like using lots of them on the same page or in the same way. So some of the pleather hearts I used on my December story 24, I believe, where I told 3 stories during that day, and I used one of these hearts for those 3 stories. That being said, I don't think I will use up these little guys anymore, so I think I will put these in my destash pile as well. For the wood embellishments, this is another example of where I like to incorporate different types of textures in my December daily album. So wood is definitely a different texture. Now I used all but one of these wood pieces, the house pieces, but I think I barely used any of these other painted wood veneer pieces. And that's just because like the aesthetic of these is not really something that I usually go towards, like this more distressed kind of wood burnt look. So I think I will probably pass on keeping these as well. And then as much as I enjoyed using these wood houses, I think I'll pass this one along just because with the one house, I don't really think I'll find much use for it. In terms of cork embellishments, this was the only cork embellishment that was available from the December Daily 2021 collection, and I used up most of them. I do have 2 left, and I will keep those to use for next year. I do like how they have the gold veining in them. I think that provides a really interesting texture. For fabric and canvas things, I really liked having this option as an alternative for to the vellum circles. So these came separately as an add-on, and as you can see, I've used 4 of them, and I've left out these 4 because frankly, I don't like the colors as much. So I'm not really an orange person, and I just never really made a lot of spreads with oranges, so I didn't ever think about using that one. And then this one was kind of like a bit plain, and I don't associate Christmas time with peace, definitely. It's like a bit chaotic all the time in the parties and households that I'm a part of, and not a big fan of this olive color. And this one I would have used, just not this year apparently. So I think I'll pass these 4 on as well. But I think this is definitely an item that I would repurchase for a future December daily album. And then these socks were really, really cute, and I had added a couple of them to my fireplace page, but these ones just didn't make the cut. Not because I didn't really like them in any way, but just because for me, I don't have stockings up in my house, so these aren't really something that I was really into using. Again, great embellishment in terms of the texture. It's just not something that I personally related to. And these ones were kind of interesting in the sense that, like, these canvas word strips are really nice. I like the texture that they add, especially on top of the canvas pockets that were a part of this year's kit. But I just found it a hassle to dig through all of these individual strips when I was doing my December daily album. So I think in the future what I will do with this pack, because I do think I want to keep these, is that I will put some 3/8 of an inch score tape on the back of each one of these and then stick them onto some sticker paper backer so that I have them all on one sheet and they're just a bit more easily accessible to look through when I'm making my projects. Just because whenever I'm looking for like a strip like this, I defaultly go to the phrase sticker sheets instead, because they're kind of a bit more easily accessible and you can see right at a glance what types of words you have. But I think having them pre-adhesived, if you can use that as a verb, I think that would help me use them up next year. In terms of the chipboard, this pack of nested chipboard shapes, I have used a couple of, but not as many as I had hoped. So I had kind of planned a page using these kind of in a gallery wall, and then I had another idea and used that instead. So I think I will definitely be saving this for next year so that I can do that idea. And then this pack of stars, this is another one that I used a couple of, and then I just kind of forgot about them, I think, by the end of the December daily. I don't really love the gold tone of this gold one, so I might just destash this one and then keep those ones, these more plain ones, to use instead, or I might just keep them all together and keep them for myself and see if I use them next year. And then these speech bubbles, this is another example of a product that I used almost all of it on one single spread, and that was the spread where I had the speech bubbles coming out and it pulled out some quotes that I had recorded during some music jamming sessions that me and my friend had. Because there are only two, I don't think I will use these ones, so I think I'll just keep them on the backer sheet in case the recipient of whoever I'm destashing this to wants to use these as little frames. But I think I will be destashing these. Definitely really fun products to use though. Next are the kind of transparent elements. So these ones came in the main kit, and I don't think I even opened, I might have opened this pack to look at it once, but just because these are quite similar to the canvas circles that we also got, and these are a bit harder to adhere because they are vellum, and then you have to worry about like what looks good behind them, and I just didn't want to fuss with that. I think they're cute, but I don't see myself ever using these. So these are going to the destash pile. These ones, I had used up one of the circles on one of my pages. I had been debating about using all three of them on a page, like some of the other creative team members were using, but just ended up not using all three of them. I do like the quote, and I do like the gold foil in it, so I will be keeping these for next year. And then the plastic frames were another thing that I really enjoyed using. So I used them on two main layouts where I used a whole bunch of them. So one of them I had some of these photo frames, and I put a photo, and then I adhered that down to a page as like a flap. So I had a whole bunch, and they all kind of like flipped down to to reveal more photos, and I really liked using that for that purpose. And the other spread that I used a whole bunch of these for was, what was it? Oh, right, the movies and TV shows. So I had used a whole bunch of these on an angle to kind of showcase the different shows and movies that we had watched during December. And so I just have a few left. I think I will keep them for next year just because they're really fun and they can be used just individually as well, or kind of collaged on a page. That was something that I had considered briefly as well, to kind of collage them on a page and use them together. I did save these, but I think I will throw them out because if anything, I would use them together with the frames like this, and I don't have many of them left, so this will go in the garbage. And these will get saved for next year. So I had actually purchased 2 packages of these plastic hearts and given them away, like some of them away in a swap. And I do have some left. Most of the ones that I have left are the ones with patterns because, sorry, the ones with words, because the ones with patterns I had used to back my wood veneer numbers. And so these ones are the ones that I have left over. I really enjoyed using them, and I like the different messages that they have on them. So I will definitely keep these for next year and see if I can use up more of them. There were a lot of great ideas on Instagram from the December Daily Creative team as well. The people who did the hops featuring different ideas for using some products. So we did one for the plastic hearts and we did another one for the vellum shaker tags. And speaking of vellum shaker tags, that's another product that I used all of it up. Mind you, 2 of them I didn't use as actual shaker tags. I cut them apart and then used them as pockets. But I really enjoyed using that. And that's something that I don't think, like all of these embellishments that I just went over, I don't think I could easily replicate them using digital products. So that's another reason why I would get the physical ones instead of getting the digital alternatives if they were available for next year. Moving on to the paper part, one thing that I was kind of surprised about, and one thing that you guys might find a bit surprising too, is this is all the pattern paper I have left over from what we received in our kit. And this is including the add-on pack as well as the main kit pattern papers. And I think I only really used up like 2 or 3 sheets. And the rest of them, some of them I had cut down, but some of them I just didn't use. And the reason why is because prior to receiving all of our papers in the mail, I had actually, we had access to the digital files, and I had actually printed out one of each or more of all of the patterns that I liked. And that I used up the majority of what I printed. And nothing against Ali Edwards's, the type of paper that she uses, but it is a bit thicker than the paper that I use. And the colors are more vibrant, of course, when they come printed from professional printers and not from my home printer. But I found the thickness of the paper to be a bit of a hassle because I do like creating a lot of interactive pages. And in a lot of those interactive pages, that involves, number 1, more bulk, and number 2, more folding of papers. And I just found these papers that came in the kits were a bit harder to fold than the printer papers that I had been using. So I print on 65-pound paper, and it also provided a bit more stiffness, but a bit more bulk as well. And so defaultly, I think I went to use my papers instead of these papers for the most part. And I think next year, if the papers are available digitally again, I will gladly buy the digital ones and not get the physical copies. And that's just because then I don't have to worry about hoarding them, like I kind of felt like in the situation, I think. And then that way I'm more likely to use them. They're easier for me to use, and then they also take up less bulk in my album. I think the only caveat to that is if you're someone who builds pages on, builds your December daily pages on pattern paper, like if you were to build a page on this and then flip it over and build another page on the back, then it might be more handy to get these papers, the physical copies, because they are a bit sturdier, so they can hold up to having things glued on them and things like that. Whereas if I just had some 65-pound paper, I would probably want to back that with another page or a photo or something like that. So as much as this makes me really sad, I will be destashing this whole pile of paper because I do think that someone else can find more use out of these than I would. So next comes the die cut pack, and I did use a few of these. Again, I kind of found myself gearing towards using the digital versions of these instead. And of course, some of these ones that are gold foiled, they might be a bit harder to use digitally. But for example, this one I had used digitally, and I just turned it upside down and made this part like the same color as the base here, and then deleted these numbers and used that as a house instead. And I like the versatility of having digital products that I can use. And I do have an electronic cutting machine, so that would allow me to cut out shapes like this as well if I wanted to. So I think I will also pass these on so that someone can make better use of these. And then same thing for these cardstock die cut pieces as well. I had used the digital versions of both this circle one in the back and this star one. So the star one I made into a full 8x10 page so that I could use that as like my title page for my volume 3. And then this one in the back here, I had shrunken that down to a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch to make into like an A2 size card for some of my greeting cards. So I think I will pass this along as well, because as long as I have the digital cut files, I don't anticipate myself ever using these ones. In terms of the die cuts and various tags, I did enjoy having these. Now these ones came in the same bundle as these ones did. Now it is true that I can print these out and cut them out by hand, but they're just so much more convenient in a package. And for tags and things like that, I do want them to be that thicker cardstock weight, because I'm potentially pulling these in and out of things like pockets, or tying ribbon or twine through the tops. So I definitely would want to repurchase these if they were offered again next year. And I think I will keep both of these for myself for the next year. Now, for some reason, I didn't really use these cardstock die cut pieces all that much. And I don't know why that is as opposed to tags, like what the difference in my mind is. I think maybe because the tags are a bit more interactive than these ones are. Like these ones, I feel like I'm just sticking a piece of paper down onto a page. I know this is a lot fancier than a piece of paper, but that's just how I think in my mind is why I kind of stayed away from these versus these ones, because they are quite similar if you think about it. But this I think just has this pack of tags and other shapes, I think just provides a bit more interactivity. And I think that's why I liked these a lot better. So keeping these ones, passing these along. These stars, I think I used, the one that I used most of is the pattern that had these outlines and just like a large star. I think I used like 4 of them, and I just have the one left. Whereas these other ones I didn't really use as much of, and I think I will pass this bundle along as well, just because, again, similar to the other pack of die cuts, I don't find that these are particularly exciting for me to use. I think I prefer ones that you can either add journaling to, or ones that you can, that already have the holes in them that look like tags. Yeah, just the way my mind works, and wanting to optimize the interactivity of my albums, and as well maximize the space where I can fill out things or add journaling. So I'll be passing these along as well. Speaking of journaling, these were one of my favorite products to use this year, even though I didn't use a whole lot of them. And if you've seen any of my videos, you'll know that I use clear sticker paper with these, and I think that just provides a really cool looking effect. And plus the fact that they're like kind of plasticky, and they're a lot more durable in terms of being inserts. So I will definitely keep these and probably use them next year. So these transparencies, there was a pack of 5, and as you can see, there are 5 left. And I don't really know why I didn't use these, because there were some transparencies that came in the 3x8 set, and I definitely used some of those. So I'm going to keep them for another year and see if maybe I might want to use them more next year. I think one of the pros of the smaller size versus this size is that, like, I didn't really want to cut these down because they looked too pretty. Whereas these ones were kind of cut down and a manageable size to go with other elements like a large photo, or to be used as pockets. So yeah, I think I will keep these and see if I will use them next year. Along with these clear transparency journaling cards were these ones here. And I used up a lot of them, but in terms of flexibility, I definitely also prefer the digital versions of these ones, because these ones have holes on the one side, and sometimes I want to put them in the other side, and it's difficult to like hide the fact that there's holes here without having to crop that down. And then if you crop it down, then this becomes off center, and then I usually add some stickers here to kind of fill that spot up a bit. But I think it would just be easier to use digital ones. So I think, because these ones came in a set with this, I think I'll still keep these and pass these along, even though that divides the bundle, because I don't think I will be using these, and there is a possibility that I might use these in the future. Or should I just keep them together and get rid of both? You know what, I might as well keep them together and get rid of both, because if I want transparencies, I can always use these, or print out my own transparencies as well. So those are going. In terms of tags, I didn't use a whole lot of these because the background ones seem a bit more difficult for me to use, because They're not a bold enough background that I maybe want to add. The difference is this one. This one I would maybe want to add a photo here and use that. And then I do like these ones for inserting some journaling. But this one, I wasn't feeling the colors of that one, so I'll definitely get rid of that one. And then these ones, I don't think. Actually, maybe I changed my mind. I think I'll keep these as well. I do enjoy having tags in my collection just in case. So I will try to use these up next year as well. Last but not least, we have these two items from the main kit. Now, these little strips, I had actually debated about using these in combination with those blank ones to kind of, Jenny Simons had a really cool page that she made for the Glow kit, where she had this see-through shaker pouch that was like a picture of a jar, and she had the word glow on that. And I had debated about making these into kind of like things that you could slip into a jar and pull out of, and have like a prompt on the front and then read it on the back. But I ended up using those blank phrases, phrase strips for something else. And I ended up using a couple more of these strips with the sentiments on a different page. So I think I will pass these on to my destash pile. And then these journaling cards, I was surprised how many I actually used. And I think a lot of it was the 4x6 versions, because that, like, you could do, what am I trying to say here? You could put like a photo here and some journaling on the back, I think is what I did for a couple of them. And the size worked really well for even the 10x8 album. Now these smaller ones I didn't use as much because I found the size a bit harder to use on a 10x8 format, except for the fact that you could use them as tags. And then these story ones didn't work as well in terms of being a tag format. That being said, I do enjoy using these journaling cards, so I will be keeping these for next year to use in next year's album. Some other paper products that I'll talk about next are this vellum pack that was part of the December Daily collection. And out of the 5 that were included, I think there were 5 that were included in this pack, I used 2 of them. And that's not to say that I don't like these other ones, I just didn't really have the opportunity to use them in my album. So I will definitely be including these in the to keep pile for next year. And I just like the fact that there's some foiling detail in some of these, and sometimes my printer has a problem printing on vellum sheets, so it's really handy to have these pre-printed out, and it just adds a bit of a different texture to my project as well. And then in terms of the 2 kits, the Paisley Press kit and the In a Creative Bubble journaling card kit, again, I really found that I preferred to use the digital cards. I think I used a couple of these 4x6 cards and maybe like 1 of these 3x4 cards, but I just like the bigger formats that you can get if you were to expand this to like a 4x6 size, for example, or I guess it would be a bit different dimensions, but anyways, I am going to be destashing these as well as these ones here. One of the things that I found as well was that I put these with the Paisley Press kit under my organization tabs. And like you can see, I have, oopsies. So I had a different tab for the main kit, and one for the Paisley Press kit, and one for the In a Creative Bubble kit. And I found that I didn't really use these stickers and these chipboard pieces as often as I would have liked to. because they were just in a different place and I didn't automatically think about using them when I wanted to look for products to use. So because I've used quite a few of the pattern papers from this kit, as well as a few of these journaling cards, I think I'll just keep this collection here so that I can maybe use up a bit more of this collection and then get rid of the extra ones. But I think I will be passing this along to my destash pile, not because I not because I don't like these cards. I actually really enjoy the patterns, and I use the digital ones in a larger format for at least 3 of my stories, I think, in my December daily album. But I just don't find these pocket cards to be practical in terms of how I like to scrapbook and make interactive elements and things like that. So these will be going to my destash pile. And then what's left are kind of some random things. In terms of the pockets, I really like the other 2 pockets that they had. So they had one that was a transparency pocket that had all these patterns on them and like a little tie closure, and that one was kind of like a 6x8 size, and I used that one. And I also used the one that was the craft cardstock with the gold foiling on it, and I anticipated not using this one because it's like long and skinny, and most of my pages are not long and skinny. So I was right in that I didn't use this one after all. And so I will pass this on so that someone else can use that. And this canvas pocket, so this came in a set of 4, and I actually used 3 of them, which was surprising to me because I didn't automatically think that this was something that I would want to use. But I really like the added texture that this adds, and it's kind of automatically an interactive element just by itself. So I have 1 left, and I think I will be saving this for next year. In terms of stickers, I'll just take these out, and I included this one as well. These word glitter phrase cutouts were included in the main kit, and I loved them so much. I just love that extra sparkle, and it just provided a nice impact on a 10x8 size. So I will definitely be keeping this one for next year, and if they come out with something like this again, I will definitely be getting them. And then in terms of other glittery things, these die cut glitter stars, I really liked them. I didn't use them as often as I thought I would. And I think part of the reason, again, is because these ones don't already have adhesive on them. So I might just add these onto like a clear sticker backing paper with maybe like some glue dots so that they might be easier to use next year. But I will definitely keep these for next year or for other projects. In terms of the stickers, so I did get the advent calendar, the sticker advent calendar as part of our creative team package, and I got a whole bunch of the other stickers as well. I actually bought a few extra sets of these gold ones thinking I might need more, but I have barely used up 1 package, and I like the fact that I got more because I love this font and the gold, and so I will definitely be keeping these for next year. I probably didn't need to buy 2 extra packs. I probably could have bought in just the 1 extra pack, but it's nice that I have extra ones to use just in case. And I bought an extra set of these alphabet stickers as well, and I'm really glad I did because the one that we got in our package, I've used up like most of the A's, most of the O's, a lot of the letters here, and I really enjoyed using these as well. So next year, if there are alphabet stickers or number stickers, I will definitely be getting those. In terms of the other stickers, I divided them up into dimensional stickers and flat stickers, and most of the advent calendar ones fell in the flat sticker category. And so this is a mixture of some of the stickers that we got in the advent calendar as well as other stickers. And I had some that I liked more than others, and some that I just didn't use because they kind of showed up a bit too late in my December daily, you know, like when I was planning and things like that. So some of them I will definitely keep for next year. Some of them I'll destash, and then I'll just go through some of my favorite ones. So anything with the strips, with the titles on them, I really liked. So there was this strip as well as, let me see if I can find it. This strip here. As you can see, I've used up almost all of the stickers on here, and I've used up a lot of stickers on here as well. So definitely any stickers that have like strips of sayings, I love those ones. Alphabet stickers I also really enjoy. This one came a bit too late for me to use, I think. By the time they were unboxed in the advent calendar, I like had forgotten that I had some stickers to use, so I kind of just unboxed them and left them there, unfortunately, but those ones I will definitely keep. This one was another one that had those strips that I really enjoyed, so I'll keep those. And of course, I love having these word phrase strips around as well, even though I didn't use a whole bunch of them, but it's always nice to have all these different sayings in different colors to choose from. This one was kind of like, this was like a defect that had come in the first calendar that I got. So they did send me a new one, which I am definitely going to keep. I've already used two and definitely will use some more at a later time. I don't know what I'm going to be doing with that one, but I probably won't even destash that, just because I don't like giving people things that are like a bit defective. In terms of the other stickers, these label stickers I really didn't use at all. Not really sure why. I do like using labels and things. I think some of these shapes are just a bit awkward for like the stamps that I would have used in them. If I had been, you know, like as a person who backs all of my numbers with the clear plastic hearts, that was something that I did consistently for my 2021 album. I could have easily, instead of backing them with a heart, I could have backed them on one of these labels for a day, for example, but just because I wanted to keep that consistent, that's why I didn't use these. I don't anticipate that I will be using these, except for just the one that I used, so I will be destashing these. And then same with these, they're just a bit too small for my liking. I did use one of them, but I think I will pass this along as well. Another thing that I found myself not really using a lot were these attacher stickers, and there were 3 that came in a set. And that's just because, number one, we were sent a digital cut file for these. So I felt like I could just cut these from pattern paper instead and make them a bit prettier. And also because they're made of cardstock and not like a very thick cardstock, I felt like it wouldn't be durable enough to go in my albums, because I do have a lot of interactive pages that are a bit heavier and require lots of flipping around. So I think I will be passing these along as well. These I definitely liked. I used up 5 of them, and they just, because I make so many interactive elements, like it's really nice to have these double-sided tabs that I can then add to my flips and flaps, instead of having to worry about, oh, what do I need to add to remind myself in the future that these can be flipped up or something like that. So I will definitely keep those for next year. And then these ones as well I enjoyed using. I will keep those too. Oh, this was one that I had done a video on to showcase kind of like, I did an unboxing of this. This came in the sticker advent calendar for one of the days. And my challenge was to use as many as I could on the one layout and kind of focus on this as one of the products I was using. And I did manage to use all except for 2 rows of them. I do really like these because I send out a lot of cards during Christmas time. And so I think this is kind of perfect to document those types of stories. So I will be keeping this one. In terms of the planner stickers, I didn't use up a whole lot of them. I think because I don't really do plannery things in regards to December Daily. So I didn't even do like a planner, like set up a planner or anything for December Daily. I just kind of went with the flow. So I think I will be destashing these ones as well. I might keep these ones just because they do have some sentiments that I could use for photos. So I think I'll keep this one and then destash these ones. The only ones that I really used were the AM and PM ones, and that was kind of for my spread documenting like what we did in the morning and what we did at nighttime. And I had 2 separate accordion folds with lots of photos in them. And I really like the AM and PM stickers for that. But other than that, I think these stickers I can pass on. Always fun to have some heart shapes, so I will definitely be keeping those. And I'll probably be keeping these stars as well. In terms of the dimensional stickers, so I love anything that is super glittery or sparkly. So all of these, in terms of the hearts, I used up kind of about half of one page, and then I do have another page left. I think these would be perfect for Valentine's Day as well. So I'll definitely be keeping these. And then these, again, I just kind of, they came a bit too late in my December Daily album. Sorry, in the sticker advent calendar. I would have loved to use these a bit earlier on. So definitely keeping those for next year. And I usually do love anything with dimension as well. So you can see this poor sticker sheet that came in the Star Mini Kit. There were 2 full pages, and I have used up almost all of them. So I will definitely be hoarding this one and keeping these in terms of dimensional stickers because I love adding dimension to my albums, even though I really shouldn't because they get way too bulky. These ones as well, definitely keeping. This one I was debating about putting like around a number or something, but again, I was using those plastic hearts to back by numbers, so maybe I'll use this one next year instead. And then I really love that they included a kind of canvas sticker as well in terms of a different texture in the December Daily Advent calendar. So I'll be keeping that one. And I'll also be keeping these ones. I think these ones would make great embellishments for cards too. The only one that I'm not keeping in terms of dimensional stickers are these 2. So this one, I think the colors combined with like the font just wasn't speaking to me as much, I think. So I used one of those, and then I haven't used any of the other ones, and I don't think I'll be using them. So this one is going to my destash pile. And then this one was just a bit too large for me to want to use on any of my pages this year. And just by itself, like if there were 3 of them, I could imagine using them across a page. But just because there's just the one, I think I will pass on that. And I don't know why my focus went weird there. And that brings us to the stamp sets. Now, you all know how I love my stamps, and I didn't even use them as much as I would have liked in my December Daily, and that's even considering the fact that I had all of my inks that I had chosen out on my desk, ready to be used. as well as all of my ink swatches that I had made for the various kits. And even that wasn't enough to encourage me to stamp as much as I wanted to. So these ones, I will definitely be including all of them because I love hoarding my stamps. And if I had to pick like my top favorites, I'd have to say, you know, this one that I used for my, this is the holiday icons. This one I had done on my product play class. And this just has a special place in my heart. So I will definitely be keeping all of these, but this is one of my favorites. This star stamp, of course, just because it's so versatile, you can see it's kind of like stained from being used, except for those two. So that one's definitely a favorite. And of course, the alphabet and the number set. I will probably always buy the alphabet and number set for December Daily whenever they come out. So definitely a very versatile item. And then these ones I like as well. Just these ones are probably my favorites if I had to pick 3 stamp sets. And I count these ones as like 1 stamp set because it's like the same font, just 2 different types of, you know, the alphabets and the numbers. So there we go. So with my destashing, I have narrowed it down to keeping some ephemera bits, not ephemera bits, embellishments and stickers that will fit into this box. And you can see that I am still keeping quite a few of those sticker sheets. I am also keeping the Paisley Press mini kit, as well as some tags and journaling cards that I put in here as well. Obviously, all of my stamp sets. And then some oversized things that couldn't fit in. So all of my glitter alphabet stickers, the alphabet glitter, the white glitter die cut title, film strips, transparencies, and vellum. And I am going to destash the rest, which is quite a full box here. I will get them organized and put away nicely so that they're still good to be given away next year. Alright, so this is Shuwen of December Daily Present, and it is August 29th today, which means that the 2022 December Daily price list just posted up on the Ali Edwards website this morning, and I spent some time going through the pricing list as well as watching Ali's videos, and also watching my own video that you just saw as well, talking about what I liked and didn't like about last year's products, and which ones I found were the most useful to me. And I found that really helpful in deciding what products I want to go for this year. So if you don't do that already, I highly suggest that at the end of each December daily period, after you've finished your album for the year, go through your supplies and see what you have left over. And maybe you don't need to buy those types of products the next year. And also have a look at your albums and see what products you use the most of. So I'm really glad I did those recordings, and let's get started for what I'm interested in for this year. So first of all, definitely the main kit. I think they came out with a really strong main kit this year. They have all sorts of different textures, from wood veneer to felt to plastic to vellum, and of course some gold foil papers, which I absolutely love. So I'm definitely getting one of those main kits. And this year I've decided that I'm going to probably work in a 6x8 album, and I've never done a 6x8 album before, so I'm hoping that I'll be able to stay within the 2 to 3 album range. I've done 3 Life Crafted albums the first year that I did December Daily, and then last year I did 3 10x8 albums. And so I'm hoping that, you know, if I buy 2 of these and then maybe one more of a plain looking album later on, that I will be set. So I'll definitely be getting 2 of the floral patterns. And I just love the floral pattern for this year's album. That's primarily why I'm choosing the 6x8 album as opposed to the 10x8. And then In terms of the stamps, so I had a really hard look at these, and I already have some small sentiment stamps, and I already have some large number stamps like these, so I'm probably going to just be picking up this blocked holiday phrases stamp set. I think there are some phrases in here that would be really nice for making Christmas cards, which I will definitely be doing this year, as well as this alphabet stamp set. I really love different typographies and combining different fonts, so I will definitely be getting that one. Also interested in this present stamp set as well. I think that would be really fun for making both backgrounds as well as embellishments. In terms of the embellishments, so I tried to go with ones that I probably will use up. So judging from last year's videos, I really liked the felt embellishments, so definitely going to get the felt presents. The variety pack with the craft as well as the gold foiled embellishments I thought was really fun, and I like the scale of all of these different embellishments, so I'll probably be going for that. The stencils was a must-have for me, but for some top secret reasons, I will not be adding that to my cart, and I will be getting that separately, and you'll find out why soon enough. For the numbers this year, I really liked having a consistent number for last year's album, and so this year I'll probably be using the chipboard numbers as my main number. I just really like the size of those, and I think that will go nicely with the 6x8 album. I decided to pass on the plastic stars because I do still have quite a few of those plastic hearts left that I thought I could use instead when I want that transparency element. And then I decided I had to have those plastic trees as well. I am a bit curious how I'll be able to fit more than just one or two of them in a 6x8 page, but I'm sure I can make it work in some interactive way as well. There were some of the other embellishments I was kind of slightly interested in, like the velvet trim pack and the chipboard trees, as well as these glitter phrases. But I think I can DIY some of this stuff myself, just using a cutting machine, for example, and then I'm sure I have lots of ribbon and trim that I can dig up to substitute for that, so I was just going to pass on those. In terms of papers, I have a really hard time passing on the pattern papers, especially the specialty papers, which are a bit harder to duplicate just on my printer. And especially because, like in my video, I had mentioned that I didn't really use any of the pattern papers from last year's kit, but this year's kit, the papers have gold foil detail on them, and that's the same as they have gold foil detail in the papers in the main kit as well as the papers in the add-on kit. So I'm really, really tempted to get these two, even though I might not end up using all of them. So we'll see if I decide to add those to my box or not. And then these transparency journal cards as well. I just had so much fun playing around with the transparency cards from last year's kit. I thought I had to have those transparency journal cards. And then in terms of stickers, I am primarily going to stick to, again, things that are harder to duplicate on my cutting machine or my printer. So these puffy stickers that are the black and white with the gold detail, I think those look really classy, and I have a few ideas for what to do with those already. As well as these tab stickers. These were one of my favorites from last year's advent calendar. They had a sheet with a whole bunch of different colors, and I think especially because I have so many interactive elements, these are really handy to kind of indicate that, oh, there's like a tab you can pull out, or there's a page that you can flip here. So definitely getting those. And then in terms of lifestyle, speaking of advent calendar, I am definitely getting the advent calendar this year. Let me know as well if you'd like to see a live video like I did last year, where I unbox one of the sticker packs and then use the contents of that pack to make a page. This puzzle, I am kind of debating about getting it, but a bit worried about where I'm going to put that puzzle, both in terms of when I'm doing the puzzle during the month of December, as well as when it's all done, like if I can get it framed or something like that. So definitely a consideration. But I will be getting these enamel pins. Last year I labeled the spines of my albums with the enamel pins, and I really like having that to kind of distinguish each year. So I'll definitely be getting at least 2, and then if I end up with 3 albums, I'll probably pick up a 3rd one as well. And that's about it. So as I mentioned, I have a lot of stuff to get rid of. This is my whole destash box here, so you'll see that there's that whole stack of pattern papers that I have wanted to get rid of, lots of those die cut inserts and tags and things, lots and lots of journaling cards you can see there, and lots of embellishments as well. This is the whole stack of embellishments and stickers, and some loose embellishments as well. As well as the felt numbers that I really didn't get a chance to use last year. So I'll be doing a giveaway for this, and I have 2 ways that you can enter into this giveaway. So as usual, I'll be doing entries on both YouTube and Instagram. So for YouTube, all you have to do is like this video, subscribe to my channel, and then comment below with what your favorite product from this year's release was. On Instagram, I'll do a giveaway post as well, and you can like, subscribe, or follow me on Instagram, and then comment on that post with what product, either physical or digital, you'd most like to see inspiration for my December daily pages. And I'll keep this giveaway open until Tuesday, September 6th, which is a week and a bit more than a week from now, at 9 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and I will make this open internationally as well. So I hope you enjoyed that kind of process video. That's a bit different in terms of how I go about picking out the products that I'm going to be using this year. And if you have any questions, just leave them down in the comments down below. Thanks so much for watching.